the tricycle.
Oh.
And the tricycle upside down.
Oh my gosh. That's terrible.
Two passenger with the driver. I think that tricycle.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Yeah. That was hit by the wingback.
That's terrible. We're on the road again.
Ay, tara, nakatulog sa namin now.
We're live on the road again. Alien Cruise Official in the house as usual. Welcome, welcome in. You always are the first one in. Anna G, how you be? Abby from Quezon City. How are you? There's Ma'am Minnie. She's riding in the back. Like a doña.
Oh, ang ilang sakyanan kabaliw. Pero
She's here. Yeah, we're on the road again.
Parehas sa ato ba?
Yeah.
Yellow.
You guys probably know this national highway better than I do by now. I do so many live streams from it. What do you see? What?
Red one, kabaliw.
What does that mean? Caballo.
Craziness.
Craziness? Caballo? Oh, you better not get too close to that van. Yeah. Let me see. Oh, there's the van. Caballo.
Kabaliw.
But that looks like a newer Suzuki's, right?
Yeah.
It looks like a brand new one.
Seems our
Yeah.
Suzuki.
I forgot my microphone this time, but I have the gimbal this time. So that, you see, I can never get it 100%. So I have the gimbal, and then I forgot the mic. So you're going to hear noise of the engine and the air conditioner and all this nonsense going on. All the electronic interference. What can I say? What can I say? It's life. Life in the Philippines. So, what I want to talk about today, I was just, while we're enjoying this journey back to Ormoc for a follow-up, just wanted to talk a little bit about a video I just watched, Vagabond Awake, I think it's called. And he was talking about the two top countries in Southeast Asia that are more like the United States. Yeah, there, I got it out. And so number two, he said, was the Philippines. Although that would be number one for me. But that's because I haven't been to the other country that he cited is the number one country that is most like the United States. And that, he said, is Malaysia. And so Ma'am Minnie and I are probably going to be in Malaysia, I would say by the middle of next year, because that's definitely a place that we want to spend some time. That's Kuala Lumpur. I don't want to venture out too much in Malaysia because I don't know it. I don't know that country. And so this is going to be baby steps kind of thing. You know, we're going to be taking it slowly but surely. Don't call me Shirley. To try and get to know what Malaysia is all about. So we'll start in Kuala Lumpur next year. But according to Vagabond Awake, he says that the number one country in Southeast Asia that's more like the United States is in fact Malaysia. And of course, you guys know I spew a lot of information, a lot of garbage, some might say, that it's actually this is becoming more and more like the United States every single day. And if you go into my community page, I posted a link to a video where they discuss that Elon Musk and the United States are going to be opening up an economic development office in Manila, and that's going to happen early in 2025. So now, of course, that makes me a genius because I predicted all this. I'd said that the Philippines is in for tremendous economic growth that's going to push it to look more and more like the United States. So anyway, yeah, I would say that if you're going to be doing anything with a chicken, you should wear gloves. Including milking a chicken. Listen, that's kind of fun. All right, so now carrying on with what I was going to say. What I was going to say is that, there's a reason why that you now see satellites in the sky over the Philippines. So if you look up in the dead of night, you're going to see the sparkling signs that Elon Musk is already here, right? And that's going to be a satellite up in the sky that's a Starlink satellite. It's in low Earth orbit over the Philippines, and you'll see one for sure. If you look in the let's see, that would be the western sky, and then if you look in the eastern sky, you might be lucky enough to see the other satellite. So you got a couple that are floating. I'm sure there's more than just two, but those are the two satellites that I could see over the top, orbiting over the top of the Philippines, and that's for Starlink. That's so you have access, internet access, here in the Philippines. It's going to open up the Philippines towards economic development. Of course, why is the Philippines so great of a place, right? Why is it so great of a place to develop? And that's because it has a very, very young, educated workforce. That's the reason. Okay, we're passing the university now. This is Vizcaya. Visca, VSU. And so this would be the sister university, Daisylin, to University of California at Davis. And so Minnie and I, we used to live only about a 25-minute ride away from the Agricultural University of University of California at Davis. And so they have a lot of influence here on programs, and they have an exchange program, student exchange program, with the university here in the Philippines, the very one that we just passed. So we have friends that attend school there. We have friends that have graduated there from that school. A very, very fine education you shall get. Daisy Lynn is in the house. Yanarine is here. Hello, hello. Thanks for showing up and honoring me with your presence. Oh, that's scary, huh? Was that the Metro bus?
Yeah.
So anyway, if you want to learn more about what's going on, go to my community page and you'll see the link to that one video that talks about the opening of the Economic Development Office in Manila. And then later on today, after we get back to the house, I will post or share the other video from Vagabond Away. Now, I just want to talk about something else too. I know that most of my members are Filipino, and so this is more geared towards, I would say, foreigners. But they also did a video on what it costs to live in Bangkok. And now they spent a month or 2 months in Bangkok, and then they gave their budget. I think it came out to 1,200 American dollars per month as being the number. And I'm quite confident that that is the number, and that's because, as many of you know, Minnie and I spent 2 months over in Thailand, and so that was a budget for a couple. That was our budget, almost identical to Vagabond Away, and that included just about everything. That included medical expenses, that included all the food, that included rent of our 8th floor condominium, which is, I think, something like $485 per month American. So I know it can be done. So I also want to share with you that although I'm not going to identify the person is well known to most of you, and they were asking me questions about how much money, I know, would they be able to live in the Philippines on $1,200 per month? And so I'm not the one really, it really all depends on your lifestyle. But as many of you know, Minnie and I, our household budget is not much more than that. And so we have special projects that usually will go over the $1,200 or $1,300 per month. But basically our monthly budget is around there. So how much money is that? How much money is $1,200 a month at 50 to 1? 50,000, 60,000 pesos. 60,000 or 65,000 pesos is an absolutely huge budget. A lot of Filipinos have been telling me, right? So I believe that, I'm not going to tell you how much money it costs to make a living in the Philippines, because it depends on you. But as a couple, man, Minnie and I, with a paid-for house, that's a big difference. With a paid-for house, we're able to do it on 1,200 American dollars per month, or somewhere around 65,000 pesos. But this excludes special projects, and so this is definitely going to exclude things like if we want to, shore up the insulation, we want to do some painting or remodeling, we want to move things around. Like right now, we're having a water line put in. Well, that was not, as it turns out, that was not an inexpensive adventure at all. It was to have them come out and inspect. But once it got down to installation of the meter, we're talking about hardware and labor, it actually came out to a little bit more than 100 American dollars, which is substantial, and those projects such as that would not be included in the budget. So that water line is an additional water line to make sure that I keep the water flowing to the house so that I can enjoy my morning showers. That's the main purpose of it. Now I realize that's a little bit elitist, you could save a lot of money if you're an expat coming to the Philippines by simply renting an apartment that already has great water pressure. Now a lot of apartments, they put in separate water pumps and they get them going, right? So that they can make things like that. They want to make it as Western as possible because they're trying to attract Western customers to their projects, especially if it's things like a gated community or something like that. Okay, so I realize, having two water lines as opposed to one is very, very uncommon in the Philippines, but they're letting us do it. It's going to be installed today or tomorrow, from what I understand. And I'll do a video on that to show you what I'm going to be doing with that water line. But basically, I'm going to put it as direct as I possibly can without interruption to my shower, so that I don't have to depend on the main water line interfering. Who was that? Was that Sarcy? Who was that?
No, it's my co-worker.
That was your co-worker on the side of the road?
He's always late.
How come you didn't pick them up? Are they going to work?
Going to work and bye-bye.
Oh, I thought they were going this way towards Ormo.
What time is it?
Larry Lee is in the house. Yeah, you want to have great water pressure, right, Larry? I mean, that would be like the number one thing. Since they use, water pressure is important because they use the, they use the bum gun, and you can't have a bum gun with low water pressure. It won't do the job. I don't have anything against people who like to use toilet paper, but I just like to use water. Mike, Buena Vista Dream is in the house. How are you? So Mike, we're gonna follow your plan, and when we get that new water line in there, we're gonna attach it. Uh-oh. Inano. Oh yeah, I know that one. I know that Inano is hanging around, yeah. All right, so now, yeah. So anyway, that water line there, Rona sees us here. That water line, we're gonna take Mike at Hey Joe's advice, and we're gonna tee that into the water heater. So the water tank. Mike knows I got a 5-gallon water heater that we're using as a water storage tank. Has 150 psi trip switch, or whatever you call it, pressure switch, so that it won't explode. That was something that somebody asked me. All it'll do is it open up that psi valve in the case that the pressure builds up too much in there. So we're going to tee into that so it has a steady feed line into the house. There's one more thing too, Mike, I was thinking about. you know, my other mistake is that we haven't kept the pressure pump on consistently, because at the house they like to unplug it because of the power, you know. But the whole thing is, what cracks me up is I'm the one that pays the power bill, but yet everybody's always looking out for me to make sure that we don't overuse the electricity. And electricity is expensive in the Philippines, as everybody here in the chat knows. And so, but I got to go around and explain to everybody that you have to keep pressure in the line always, all the time. Now, they're worried about the motor being burned out and things like that, you know, because it comes on and off too often. But those are things that they don't bother me so much. In other words, if I blow up a motor, you know, I'm okay with just going down and getting another one. You know, that sort of thing. You know, in other words, I don't sweat stuff like that. You know, it doesn't bother me. I don't mind paying an extra $20 a month on the electric bill either. So I've let everybody know, don't worry, I appreciate them looking out for me, but I will shoulder the responsibility of the extra costs by making sure that that water line, that water feed line, both of them, that they're pressurized all the time. I guess that was the point that I wanted to make, right? Yeah, a larger pressure tank, you know, but also, Mike, I'm not convinced that I actually need one. We're going to go with the cheap way of doing it first. We're going to plug that line in because it's easy to do. And then once we do that, we're going to experiment. We'll see how often that motor goes on and off. Because right now, it doesn't go on and off very often. Once that line is pressurized, you know, it only goes on off and on maybe once every, I don't know, 20 or 30 minutes, something like that, since I've been paying attention anyway. So South Texas in the house. So anyway, we're going to try it that way first, and then if I need to go and add in another pressure tank online, you know, if I'm not satisfied for some reason, then we'll go ahead and do that. But I'll take it easy in the very beginning. You know, I've already overspent on this project. How should I say that? Or will overspend on this project. I'm actually bleeding money right now. You know, when you're talking about doing the insulation, then we have other things that we have to do. You know, there are other things in the house that have to be done. Like, we noticed that the last earthquake that we had, which was a pretty large one, that was the one that was the 6.0 or something like that. We actually have part of the wall in the living room near one of the supports, near the window where you'd expect to find it. It actually has buckle. It's a small buckle, but it's cracked all the way through, from the interior wall all the way to the exterior. Now, I know what has to be done. I know what that means, you know. Basically, what that means is we're going to have to do some major repair work there on that section of the wall. Leave the pump plugged in and watch the gauge to see if you're losing pressure. Yeah, we're going to do that. I think if we were losing pressure, it would have already showed up in the form of if there were an underground leak, let's say, for example, Mike, it would have already shown up in an increase in the water bill. And so far, there's no indication that there's a leak, because the water bill is coming out pretty consistent and hasn't spiked. And so the same with someone, tapping into the line to help themselves to free water at my expense. No sign of that whatsoever either, because it would have showed up in the form of an increased water bill, and it hasn't shown up. So we're keeping an eye on it. We'll keep an eye on that gauge. The insulation probably cooled the house by about 7 or 8 degrees by my estimation. I didn't have a thermal gun. I didn't have a laser heat gun to check it out, before and after. we still have a tiny bit. We have one more room to do that we just bought the insulation for on the deck to complete the deck, and then that'll all be done. But it's noticeably cooler inside the house. And also we noticed something else. The air conditioning, air conditioner does not have to work. Whoa. Does not have to work full blast in order to cool the house. We only have to usually turn on one of them in order to cool the house after about 15 minutes, where before we were having to turn on two of them to cool the house, and it was taking a longer period of time. So I have a few more tricks up our sleeve. Like I may put in some solar fans up in the attic. I may go up there and buy one or two solar fans and install those. But other than that, I think we're pretty much done with cooling. There is a new there's a new cooling paint that a Filipino invented that we may repaint the house with next time around. So it's a reflective paint that basically sends the incoming solar radiation back into space. And also, there's one more interesting thing about keeping the house cool, right? There's that Filipino engineer is actually an advocate for putting a second roof on the house, above the house. Now, I like it. I like this idea. I like the idea of completely putting screen, a whole framing a whole new roof above the one that already exists, in order to keep the rest of the sun out from hitting the top of the roof. I like this idea a lot. And so you may not see the house because it's going to be hidden under netting, right? It's going to be hidden off the sides, and the roof would be hidden under netting. But I mean, I really like the idea. I mean, I'm fascinated by the topic. So, or of course, I could spend I could spend $10,000 to $20,000, I suppose, putting solar panels up on the roof. But that versus spending $1,000 or $2,000 in order to put a second roof on, you know, where you could put sunscreen up there that will reflect the heat back into space or won't allow it to enter. I like that idea better. They don't call me Discount Dan for nothing. They don't call me Low Budget Dan for nothing, right? So we'll have to wait and see. You know, we'll have to wait and see what the electric bill does for the next couple of cycles, and then I'll decide if I want to take it to the next level, and that would be actually putting another roof above the roof we already have. Of course, I know there are a lot of things that can be done, you know, like the painting of the roof. The roof can be painted white. Not only could it be painted white, but we could use this special paint that is making the rounds. Like I said, the special paint that reflects the incoming solar radiation back into space. But if I were single, you know, if we were single and we were living in an apartment, Larry, the way I would do this is get the downstairs apartment, not the upstairs one, and make sure it's not facing the sun. A lot of people are getting smart as to how they're building these things. They're getting really, really smart. And they hire engineers that help them in the architecture of the apartment, so they know what direction to put it in and how to build it, so they could lower or deflect the incoming solar radiation. Yeah, gable fans, right. I think that's what I meant to say. Oh no, you're saying gable underneath the gable. Yeah, gable fans and solar fans. I gotcha. I have thought about that. Yeah, any way that we need to increase the circulation up there can't be a bad way to go. So it's all fun. It's a fun thing to try and figure out. Yeah, thankfully our bedroom faces. Yeah, we don't have a problem inside the bedroom. The bedroom cools really fast when you turn on the window air conditioner. We just have a small one. We only need to run it intermittently, I would say, for only a couple of minutes, and it's freezing cold inside the bedroom. So we're very lucky that way. But man, the living room, Mike, as you know, it sucks. You know, and so we're gonna, we were just talking about it yesterday, how we have to take that big picture window. So that's the side that we're having problems with the hollow block buckling. And like I said, we have a crack that goes all the way through from the corner of that large window seal, right there down at the bottom. That was a result of the big earthquake. And so I know that that's going to be a major repair. Yeah, you wouldn't want the sun to wake you up, and you wouldn't want it to put you to sleep either. Right, Larry? So, yeah, it's but the weather is kind of changing here, I notice, in Bye Bye City. You know, for example, we're in rainy season, but it hasn't rained much. Don't get me wrong, we've had some storms. We've had some big storms, but not like in past rainy seasons. It's not even, I would say, 20% or 25% of what we've experienced here in the last couple of years. If you notice, and if you're looking at the weather map, you'll see that all the typhoons are actually forming north of us. And so we end up getting the outer rings occasionally. But that makes a big difference. It really does. So we have overcast, the result of some of these storms forming, but we don't get the torrential rains that the first year that we were here, storms every day during rainy season. And now you can see they're forming north of us, and they're hitting the island of Luzon like crazy. In fact, I think there's one or two now that are tearing up the island of Luzon, northern Luzon, and I feel very badly. If you're living up there in Isabela, Pinky Gray, let me know if you need anything. I mean, really, you've been hammered so badly up there in Isabela. I just think of you all the time. Oh, that's great, Larry. Well, that's what you want to. When you come apartment hunting here, I know you have experience. I mean, you have experience, life experience it's called. And so you'll be able to weigh, there are reasons why some apartments cost $60 a month and others cost $200 per month. There's a big reason why. Yeah, be wary of those $60 a month apartments, or be prepared to mitigate the incoming heat, you know, that sunshine. You always have to look at what direction. That's why it's good. It's always good to shop for apartments in the morning when the sun rises and in the afternoon when the sun sets. Do you agree with that idea? If you were looking for an apartment, Joe, you'd be looking early in the morning and late in the afternoon, wouldn't you? Because that way you'd know where the sun was going to hit the window.
Yeah.
See? So this is something that comes natural to Filipinos, but it's a learned behavior. Usually it's a misstep that most of us make as expats. So pretty soon you may see our house as a spider web it'll all be covered in sunscreen. But hey, I love the way it's working out. I mean, for crying out loud, you know, it has really helped out in reducing the heat inside the house. What do you think about that, Joe? What's your opinion on that? Has it helped or no?
Maybe.
He says maybe. He says maybe. Okay. Also to see how the neighbors' karaoke, dogs, and chickens are. Yeah, well, you know, dogs can be eaten, Mike. So can chickens. I don't know about karaoke though. I don't know how to deal with that. Except I have earplugs and noise canceling headphones. I highly recommend those. Yeah, I don't know, Mike, if I told you this or not, but a chicken farm has moved into our neighborhood, and the whole neighborhood is in an uproar. I haven't been personally affected by it yet. Anna Mae, what do you say? What's it gonna be today? Ah, there you go. Albuera on their way. How do you say it?
Albuera.
Albuera. Albuera. Are we passing through Albuera yet?
Yeah.
Yes, we're close. All right, so
Close
anyway,
to end.
yeah. Yeah. Let's see. When Minnie is wearing a jacket inside the house, you will know it's. I don't know if that's a good. Listen, Mike. I don't know if that's a good measure, because she always wears a jacket inside the house, even if it's 100 degrees in there. You know, I'm not sure why that is, right? I see Filipinas wearing jackets, and I kind of shake my head going, what's that all about? Uh-oh. East, what do we got? PNP checkpoint. Alert, alert, alert. PNP on duty. Yeah, there are a lot of checkpoints going on here. Yeah, you know, I mean, it amazes me, you know, how many Filipinos I'll see and they're wearing jackets because they're cold, and it's 90 degrees out, you know. Oh, lordy, lordy, lordy. Oh, boy, life in the Philippines. There's nothing like it. Yeah, so I mean, I was pretty amazed at Vagabond Awake posting that video about, you know, what countries in Southeast Asia are most like the United States. And then he chooses the Philippines as number 2 and Malaysia as number 1. I think he may be right. Now, man, Minnie, we'll be making our way over to Malaysia next year, Kuala Lumpur. You know, because I want to, it's baby steps for beginners. So we'll make our way over to Kuala Lumpur, and I'll let you know. I'll let you know what I think about whether Malaysia is more like the United States or not. More so than the Philippines. But hey, I mean, the fact that Elon Musk and the US government are pairing up to open up an economic development office in Manila, you know, I mean, that says a lot about the direction the Philippines is going. That says a lot. Folks, the van that just passed us, that's one of the vans that I like to stay away from. Yeah, they go like 90 kilometers, 100 kilometers, and that's in the school zones. So I don't ride in those no more. I'm glad we have Joe here to drive us around. Right, because I don't ride in those vans anymore. No way. Not me. Not me. Thing is, they all behave themselves once they get into the Ormoc city limits, because they know they'll get a ticket. They know some highway traffic officer will come out of nowhere to give them a ticket, because Ormoc don't play. They don't like speeders in their city. Oh, by the way, so I was going to tell you about the pizza the other day. All right, so we go into Shakey's, and I'm telling you, I've never seen a more disorganized They have plenty of people in Shakey's. There's plenty of people working in there. They all seem to be standing around doing nothing. And so I'm confused. I don't know how you make money. But one thing was noticeable. One thing was very noticeable going into Shakey's Pizza. And that was that there was hardly anybody in there during lunchtime. That caught my attention. If you Filipinas and Filipinos notice, right? The fast food companies like McDonald's and Jollibee are all starting to run specials. They're all starting to run specials right now. And so, like McDonald's is running the 59 peso. Will get you French fries and yummy this and yummy that. So I'm starting to wonder if their sales aren't starting to suffer. Abby G, what's going on in Quezon City? What's going on over there at Jollibee? Are they having sales? What the heck? Look at those. Oh my God, I didn't know they had those kind of armored trucks here in the Philippines. Conan Girl is here. Kentucky Fried Chicken. No, Finger Licking Good is in the house. Every time I see that name, it makes me think of KFC. Yeah, so I noticed at the fast food places, they aren't busy. Is that an e-bike? Whoa, that's an e-bike. Did you see it? Are they allowed to ride the e-bike on the national highway?
Yes.
They are?
Yes.
They won't get a ticket?
There's no ticket for it.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Slow down. Uh-oh. Even the dog does not want to get caught.
Don't too close. Don't too open.
Don't open? Huh? Like that?
Just close.
Like that?
It's okay if you're going to close that one.
It's okay? I just want to wave at them. Wave at the checkpoint, guys. See, they're nice. They wave back. I didn't put them on camera. Is that what you were worried about? Were you worried about that I was going to take their picture and they were going to pull us over and give us a ticket for something?
Yeah.
Folks, there are rules here in the Philippines that we forgot our fire extinguisher that you have to carry with you at all times if you're driving a car. And we also forgot our triangle, our traffic hazard triangle, which you must have in the car if they decide to pull you over for inspection. So that could result in a heavy fine. We have to get that. Yeah, we have to pick you think we can pick it up? The one at the house? We'll just grab the one at the house, and then the triangle we need to buy. So today, after we do our errands, we need to go over to the mall because I want to buy a couple of things. Maybe we can. Maybe they sell that at the DIY, always low prices.
My cousin, if you have fire is important.
In Metro.
2 pieces.
And
Fire
Robinson.
hanging.
We need 2 pieces.
One of three.
6 million people in the house. Thanks for honoring me with your presence. I so do appreciate you being here. We're just going to be running for a couple more minutes. And then we'll be calling it a live stream. But anyway, it's exciting being here. You know, I'm not going to lie to you. Is it paradise to me? Is the Philippines paradise? Yes, it is. I cannot tell a lie. It is one of the most exciting and unique places that I've ever lived, and I love it. And it can be challenging, but you know, the challenge is part of the fun. Figuring out the workarounds for things is part of the fun. And so, I mean, it all bodes well for me. You know, I just love this place. I am where I'm supposed to be. You know, I have had a few haters sending me messages a time or two. I don't want to focus on that so much. Oh wait, here are those triangles coming
Yeah.
up, right? So that's what we're talking about. You guys see those hazard triangles coming up right there? That's what you're supposed to be carrying with you.
Go to the Robinson. Right?
Yeah,
Right
we're gonna go to the
after.
Robinsons after we run our errands. And then we'll be picking up one or two of those if we can find them. I brought some money with me to spend. All right, so anyway, there are challenges, but the haters, you know, that, oh, living in the Philippines, it won't last long, it's too inconvenient. Well, how inconvenient is paying $2,000 a month rent in the United States? How inconvenient is that for you? Yeah, tell me about it. Yeah. Oh, you'll get tired of it. You'll get tired of the way things work there. I don't think so. I don't think so. So far, so good. I'm not tired of anything. I'm not tired of the weather. I'm not tired of the low water pressure. I'm not tired of the food. I'm not tired of the people. As a matter of fact, it's the complete opposite. It's a complete opposite. I'm neither tired nor retired. Besides that, what are you going to do when you're retired anyway? You think you're going to be sitting around all day watching TV? Well, oh, sorry. I just told everybody what I do for the majority of the day when I'm in when I'm in Bye Bye City. No, it's to live life to the fullest. That's the goal. That should be your goal. It's to live life to the fullest no matter where you are in the world. Yeah. I'm on a roll, I'll have to admit. I am on a roll. And so that contributes to my happiness. It'll happen. It'll happen, Larry. Now, I mean, being on a roll and being 98.9% correct on my predictions, it helps put a smile on my face. It helps a lot. You know, someone sent me a message. They said, I think they were. I'm not sure. I don't want to misspeak. I don't want to misinterpret what they were saying. But if you were in the United States, if you'd lived there a little bit, then you would know how much the Philippines is like the United States. But if you're here and you're Filipino, it's the Philippines. I mean, the only perspective that you have is your life experience. But it makes sense. It makes sense that you would be like Western culture because of the influence of Western culture. That's the reason why. Right? That's the reason why it's so much like the West. And that probably is the reason why I adapted so quickly, aside from the fact that I've been coming here at least once a year for the past 25 years, and also sometimes 3 times a year. That's how much I love the place. It was not something new for me. It was something I was used to already. And so that does definitely come into play. And so a lot of people talk about, oh, the poverty and things like that. Yes, poverty exists here. Poverty definitely exists here. And so me acknowledging it will not make it go away. You know, me acknowledging it will not change anything. You know, all I can do is I can make my small contribution to help. And I do. I do make a contribution to try and curb that reality. But I think great things are coming for the Philippines. If you want more information, go in there to the community page and look at my post from yesterday. Some of you saw it, 1 or 2 of you saw and commented on it. And you tell me what you think in the comment section below. All right, we are here. We're here in Ormoc City. We're in the school zone. Everybody, thanks so much for joining us for this live. Man Minnie is in the back.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody. We'll see everybody on the next one. Bye. Bye-bye. Oh, Jill. Bye.
Bye.
See everybody later.